Hey everybody, and welcome back to Retro Dando. Today we're going to start with some quick tips of how to set up your Android handheld. So tip number one, we're going to move very quickly on where to get all your emulators. Okay, so we're going to start on the main screen. The first thing we're going to do is head over to GitHub, and we're going to head over to the GitHub Imran R98/Obtainium. This is going to be the first download file. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to head over to releases. We're going to head down to the bottom, and then we're going to download the APK. Then once that's downloaded, we're going to give that an open. We're going to install. Obtainium's installed. Open up. We're going to allow the notifications for now. Welcome to the GitHub page. Okay, we're good. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and there's Obtainium, and we're all sorted. So next, there's two different processes you can go through. So what we're going to do, we're going to head back to Chrome, and we're going to go away from this GitHub page, and we're going to go to a different one, which is RJNY, and it's the Obtainium Emulation Pack. You can either go to releases and download the whole file, which is probably what I'm going to do. I find it better to download the entire file and then delete what you don't want. Or you can do it the other way. If you scroll down this Obtainium page, you can see there's some dual screen applications, there's all the different emulators, and you can add them one by one by one. But it does just tend to take a little bit too much time. So the thing that I find the best thing to do is head over to the releases page, and we're going to download v.2.0, and there's two different versions here. There's the emulation pack, and there's also the dual screen emulation pack. So we're on a normal single screen Android handheld, so we're just going to download a single file. Okay, we're not going to open it. What we're going to do is we're going to head over to Obtainium, and now we're in Obtainium. We're going to hit the import and export facility, and then Obtainium import. That's going to take us to the download folder, and we're going to hit that Obtainium Emulation Pack JSON file. There you go. 32 apps have been imported. So we'll head over to the apps. You can see them all on the screen here. So it shows you all the different emulators. There are lots of them. There's also some front ends. There's some PC emulation stuff. There's some streaming stuff. There's different track only things. There's your turnip drivers for your Switch emulation. There's also an update on the emulation pack. So when you get a new emulation pack, you get one. But I mean, to be honest, you really don't need these. There's some Odin tools. There's some Emulation Station Desktop Edition files if you want to use the Android apps. This sync thing that is very, very important, I should say, and we'll be downloading that anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through these the files that we want one by one. So APS3 on this device that I'm currently using, that's not going to be good enough. SX2 is a new development PlayStation 2 emulator that I don't personally use. Azaha is a 3DS emulator, so you can download that if you want to. The first one I'm going to want to go to is CMU, so that's a Wii U emulator. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on CMU, and then we're going to click install. It's going to download that for us. Install unknown apps, basically give Obtainium the permission to install files. So we're going to check the box, and then we're going to head back. And it says, do you want to install this app? So yes, we do. We want to install it. Perfect. That one's done. Now, CMU heads to the top, look, as you can possibly see. CMU is at the top. Okay. So next, we've got Dolphin, which is the GameCube and Wii emulator. Download that quickly. Done. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to DuckStation. This is a PS1 emulator that I personally don't use. I just prefer RetroArch. just for the way that I sync all my files. So Eden's here. We all know which one this one's for. So you can choose a variety of different options. I always go with standard. Legacy works quite well with underpowered handhelds, but for this purpose, we're going to go with standard. That's going to install. We're going to install it. Boom, Eden is done. So Flycast is for Dreamcast. Again, I'm not going to bother with that because I use RetroArch. You got Melon DS here, which is a DS emulator. Again, not useful for this handheld. Nether SX2 Classic. So this is the PS2 emulator. So we're going to install that one. Boom, that one's done. PPSSPP. Install. Boom, done. RetroArch. This is quite an interesting one. So you can get this from the Play Store, but I find it's much better to just download RetroArch from Obtainium because it just updates itself, essentially. Install RetroArch. Done. Okay, next we're going to move on to, so there's RPSX, which is PS3, and there's a couple of others, and there's Vita 3K. We'll download it. We're not going to use it because it's too much to tinker with, but still, just to show you how quickly it downloads. Install, boom, done. Front ends, you go with Didisho or Pegasus. Again, I don't use either one of those. GameHub Lite is what I use for PC emulation, so we're going to download that one. Which one do I download? Just the basic one. That's the one I'm going to download. The one good thing about Obtainium is it tracks the files so when they're updated. So if you've chosen anyone from that list, it'll essentially update you. So I'm not going to bother with any of these other ones. I do use a bit of Artemis, so I'm going to download that one. Done. Don't use Moonlight. Not going to bother with the emulation packs. I am going to download SyncThing. So SyncThing just helps you sync through different devices. I clicked the top one before, but it always comes up with an error, so I always go with the bottom one, and that should install. Install. Done. Okay, so all of the ones you've downloaded are there, and if you don't want them, I'm going to show you this process. So, say for example, you don't want to be updated when ARMS XS2 is updated. So what you do is you click on it, and then you just click the delete file, and it'll be deleted from your list. And you can do that with as many different files as you want. And you kind of get them all deleted. Oh, Citron is one I missed. That's another Switch emulator. So some ROMs work better on Citron than they do on Eden. So they're always good to download. Boom, boom, boom. Install. Done. DuckStation again, I won't ever use. Delete it. You know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And that's then done. So if you close out of Obtainium and you go to your home screen, you can see that it's installed all your emulators. Everything's kind of there ready to go, and it's all ready for you to configure and kind of move forward. I hope that was quick enough for you guys, and I understand that was quite a quick run through of how Obtainium works, but I just thought I would do quite a few short videos, just step by step rather than one long one. Hopefully we can just get out one video a day of just different steps of how to set up your new Android handheld in 2026. Anyway, dudes, thanks for joining, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Cheers.